Hello everyone, this is Know It All, and I'm back with another video, and this video is not so much about the program you see at the bottom of the screen. It's about what's going to follow, and I'm going to explain to you how to keep your computer running smoother and faster, because a lot of people seem to have their computers slow down with age, and there's a number of possibilities with it. Most people, there's actually millions of people who actually have viruses on their computer. And a virus is not everything. Malware is technically, it goes malware, virus, and everything else is just a subcategory. Let's just make it simple. If I had to draw you a chart, uh, let's just say this little thing, Team Viewer, is malware, and this is your viruses, your keyloggers, your yada yada yada. Everything else is beneath it. And then there's branches underneath, like Trojans. If you had a Trojan, it'd be Trojan generic. And there's a bunch of versions of Trojans, exploits, and then you have like black hole exploit, Java exploit, PDF exploit. A bunch of these are subcategories. That ain't the point. But a lot of people do have viruses, which is one thing that slows them down. And there's also options that your computer is just been used for years and years. You've got an old computer, you've used it every day, and it just seems to be running slow. But you don't want to have to wipe everything. There's a couple of things you can do. If you have Windows 8, you can try refreshing, which keeps all of your personal files, but uninstalls every program that you have, including your drivers. Or you could try using something like Advanced System Care Pro, or you could use a program that's in Microsoft, like their disk defragment and disk defragment. I mean, there's just not a whole lot you can do there. But I do seem to mention this product a lot, but it's only because I really like trust it and I believe that it does well. Like malware removal, I have the pro version, but there's let's just go into this real quick. Malware removal, deep detection. I mean, all this stuff's important. However, I do recommend at least getting the free version and running this once. Registry fix. Um, just scans through all these items and it'll delete items in the registry that are clogged. I mean, if you have your computer for years and you don't use those old programs anymore, your computer is going to be running slower and it's going to have all the cache and information from an old program that you may not even have anymore. Which is I think why I think that you should at least use this once. Use this, at least do all of these once a month because Windows does automatically delete them. However, it does take a while, and it's if you're downloading a lot of stuff and uninstalling it and doing a lot of reviews like I do, well then you're gonna have to do that more frequently. Privacy sweep deletes a bunch of stuff. You can check it off here and there. I mean, all this stuff's just like extras. I mean, you gotta if you want to like wipe everything. I mean, the bare minimum of things that you should never bother to wipe is don't get rid of your autofill passwords. You probably don't want to get rid of your passwords or the fill form, like your saved informations. Don't get rid of anything else, but all these and everything that's not your password related. Because if you got a lot of passwords, you don't want to lose them, and you have to figure them out later and reset. It's gonna be annoying. Junk file clean. You could pretty much get rid of everything here. Like if you click anything, it's gonna be like, ooh, may slow down the downloading speed and cause traffic jam. It, yeah, may slow down the downloading speed. If you clean it, it'll help it go faster. Old prefetch may slow down your system startup. You know what? Let's just try that real quick. I'll click apply. When was that junk files clean? Let's just go. Oh, I wish I would have shown you guys how it worked, but I mean, go through it and just screw around with the settings. And a lot of you are saying, "Oh, well, Windows can do most of it." That's true. It's not going to be as easy though, and it's going to not offer as many features. And Windows is going to allow you to do it very simple. Computer optimization, fully optimized is like I'm just gonna say wireless. I don't even. I'm just gonna screw with this. Like, if you can do server, let's do top performance for home user. That was not what I was looking for. Maybe it was. I don't know. That was system optimization. Now it says it's got 13 errors. Fix bad tweak, Windows services. It doesn't need these, so it's going to start like taking. It's just going to start moving it and taking away the powers that it's getting. Like, okay, I don't really care. I always treat this like a large collection. Um, I don't know. I forgot what I was gonna say there. Moving on though. Vulnerability fix. You don't need to ever worry about this. Disk defragment. This is one of the things that people don't think help much. They don't think that they don't think disk defragment helps a lot. I think it does, and the reason is, as in theory, if you use a program more frequently, and after you download something, like if you download gigs and gigs upon like music or a video game, let's say you downloaded Guild Wars 2, there is at least there's probably like a 99% chance that not all those files are in a perfect alignment. They're not all linked together. Some files got moved to the wrong location. And what a disk defragment will do for you is it will it'll go through your computer and it will essentially find all the files that are similar to each other and move them to each other, so that way when you activate, like, let's say you launch Guild Wars 2, well, every file that should be launched with Guild Wars 2, it was already right there where it should have been in the first place, right next to all the other files. So the computer doesn't have to search for it and have to then launch it. You won't notice that it takes that long. However, it does help, and it helps your computer run nicer to make it easy. Um, Another thing, you're that's about really it. Another thing I mentioned in the beginning was malware, and malware is a different story. A lot of people think that just because they have an AV program, they're immune. That isn't true. And I also know that around 50% of people, I think it was over 50%, 56%, use Microsoft Security Essentials or a variant of it like Windows Defender. And to independent test and through like avtest.org, in avtest.org they have failed both two tests in a row. They have been uncertified, and it's even from personal tests, it doesn't seem to have that good of a it doesn't have 0-day protection. You're going to be asking, well, what is 0-day protection? I'm going to put it simple. Let's say I have a generic Trojan of some sort on my computer. Well, with MSC, it would need that exact data sample, and it would need to rely on like other programs, maybe your Internet Explorer, what do you call it, that little built-in smart screen filter to find it. Well, that's not 0-day protection, and that's putting a lot of hope into that little thing. Which is why anyone who like is like a serious PC user will not bother to use Microsoft products like that. They don't tend to use the weaker security. But moving on, if you have an infection on your computer, there's two things you can do. If you know how to boot it in safe mode, you're going to be a lot better off. If not, you can try a couple of things. If you have a USB drive, you can go to the internet and type in this thing called AVG Rescue Disk or Rescue Tool. What this will do is it'll start at boot up, so nothing can load and cancel the program from scanning. And this is really only if your computer like can't function, you can't like get on in the internet even, and you need to get the viruses off. This is definitely one of the best ways. Now, the thing I recommend you doing is